Well, the biggest conversation right now, Jamison, is that there are two valuable points on the line against the Blackhawks. Streak or no streak, they're in the Metropolitan Division, and they realize what's at stake with having the opportunity to clinch 2 points. But they also remember very well playing spoiler to the Blackhawks back in November when they snapped the Blackhawks' 7-game winning streak. Trevor, when these two teams last met on November 11th, it was the Washington Capitals that snapped the Blackhawks' 7-game winning streak. How do you flip the script tonight?
Yeah, I think we just got to keep it simple.
And with all that skill, what's the biggest challenge they present for you defensively? Thanks, Jamie. It's no secret what the Columbus Blue Jackets are up against, looking to match NHL history tonight, trying to pull their 17th straight win in a row against the Washington Capitals. And one might think, having one of the youngest teams in the league, that this team would shy away from that kind of spotlight. But oh no, this Columbus Blue Jackets team is embracing this opportunity. I spoke to many players leading into this game, and they said, listen, we're just excited to be here. This streak wasn't something that was really on the forefront of our minds, actually, until like game 12 or 13, when we started noticing, oh, sellout crowd here, sellout crowd there. Now they're rolling on 16 wins in a row.
Michelle McMahon caught up with several Blue Jackets today, starting with the captain, Nick Foligno.
Thanks, Jamie. Nick, the opportunity lies ahead to match NHL history tonight. This team clearly takes things one game at a time, but what does it mean to even be in this position tonight?
Well, it's obviously pretty special company. I mean, some of the great teams that have been able to do this, it's impressive.
What's been the difference with the scoring depth over the last couple of games?
Yeah, you said it, the third line. They've only been together for 3 games, but Ryan Hartman being a key part of that. I spoke with him earlier. I said, what's clicking right now for this third line? He said, really, we complement each other's games on all facets. Caro centers that line. He does a really good job on the face-off. They oftentimes start with the puck, and then you have Panic, who's a skill guy, and of course, Hartman's good at finishing. But ultimately, I think, too, Ryan Hartman's getting a lot of attention right now. 5 points through his last 2 games. I think there's a lot of trust being built between him and Joel Quenneville, who also said Hartman's a big part of owning that spot. He's not just a fluke. He is earning that right to be there. And he's floated up and down this lineup and has managed his emotions very well as a young player and continues to chip away in that third line. Your teammate Carl Alsner is heading into his 500th straight game. You've been in this league a long time. What does that milestone mean for a defenseman?
The longevity and the consistency at which he plays. He plays hard minutes, and to play that many games consecutively, it's really remarkable. Speaking of Braden Holtby, let's get to the goaltending matchup tonight. It's Braden Holtby against Sergei Bobrovsky, 2 Vezina Trophy winners. Bobrovsky obviously coming up huge during the 16-game winning streak. He's stolen 14 of those wins. Braden Holtby looking to respond after a tough goaltending performance on Tuesday night, but was as even-keeled as ever. Brandon, with the opportunity to match NHL history tonight, if you get a win, 17 wins for this team in a row, what is the excitement level, and what does this mean to this group? 10 different game-winning goal scorers during the 16-game winning streak. What does that say about your scoring depth for this team?
Yeah, I mean, everybody's contributing. It's just that's what you need to win in this league is 4 lines.
And as one of the youngest teams in the league, doesn't seem that this group is very fazed by being in this big moment. How are you guys keeping things loose leading up to this point? Yeah, EJ, something special. Only the 3rd defenseman since 1944 to accomplish 500 games in a row. Not to mention being in that defenseman position, which, as you know, is a little bit trickier than the others. But when he was speaking before this, a very humble approach. He was talking about actually the other milestones that happened. Alex Ovechkin hitting the 1,000-point mark, as well as Nicholas Backstrom with his 500th assist. He said, those guys are powering through with pure skill. Hats off to them. I can't power through 500 games with pure skill. For me, I focus on the controllables, which is my work ethic. How do you best contain a player like Alex Ovechkin amongst the many weapons they have?
Yeah, obviously he's a really special player, and he's been scoring a lot lately.
Now, focusing in on your side, you've had the luxury of working into this blue line with defensemen like Brent Seabrook and Duncan Keith. What have you most improved about your game by watching their game?
Yeah, I think it's just the consistency, watching them play every night.
When I asked him about what has sparked this 7-game winning streak, he said the biggest key for them right now is getting those 4 lines rolling and the consistency through 60 minutes, not letting up. We saw a little bit of a let up there in the 3rd period against the Pittsburgh Penguins last game. They said to eliminate that is a big key against the Blackhawks. But as for the 7-game point streak, they're not really focused on the streak right now, just focused on gathering points, because they say if you don't collect them now, you're going to get left behind in this tough Metropolitan Division. John, you're up against a team chasing history tonight, riding a 16-game winning streak with all that spotlight on this matchup tonight. What's the focus on your side for your team?
I just think you know, we've been going pretty well.
A big game for you guys tonight on the national scale, but also a big matchup tonight for the World Juniors. Team USA taking on Team Canada. Bring us back to 2010 when you had the game-winning goal to bring home gold for Team USA.
Yeah, it was an awesome experience, the whole tournament, and to win like that was pretty special to me. And
What do you think the excitement level is for those kids heading into this game?
oh, it'll be awesome, I'm sure. I think it's up in Montreal, so it's going to be pretty crazy up there, and good luck to all of them, and looking forward to seeing what happens.
Coach Barry Trotz also catching a milestone tonight.
Yes, he is. He'll pass Ron Wilson for 7th on most games coached in the NHL as a head coach. And I was interested to get a player's perspective on what it's like to play for a guy like Barry Trotz. And I caught up with Taylor Chorney before the game. He said, I love playing for Barry Trotz. You always know where you stand with him. He's a great communicator. Most importantly, he emphasized to me, though, that everybody is included. He coaches every guy the same. And especially from a guy like Taylor Chorney, who's a healthy scratch tonight, he said, it's been a tough year for me personally, but I still feel just as involved in this group. And he also gave him a lot of credit. He goes, look at what he did in Nashville. He didn't have a lot of stars surrounding him there, and he built the foundation for an entire franchise. Here he just said Chorney was really happy for Barry Trotz to hit yet another milestone tonight, which is kind of flying under the radar considering all the other milestones that are happening around the Caps franchise right now each.